Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. The PRC20 Gold Rush has begun, or rather, it's been going for a year, but now it's really starting to take off. Pulsechain wrapped Bitcoin pWBTC, Pulsechain DAI stablecoin pDAI, they are absolutely exploding. They're hitting all-time highs. They are absolutely exploding. And then PRC20s are popping off all over the place. This is absolutely going to be, in my opinion, one of the greatest narratives in all of cryptocurrency. We're all thinking about pDAI and how this is the greatest narrative, but that is so limited, man. This whole PRC20, it's the explosion of the PRC20. It's the 10,000 X's all over the blockchain. Richard Hart's goated, man. Richard Hart's goated. I'm really trying to, now is actually the time to really stabilize the emotions. I can feel the euphoria. I can objectively observe it, but I'm having all these realizations based on the things that I'm seeing, based on the way that I'm feeling, and all the pieces are connecting in my mind. All the story is unfolding, and I'm connecting the dots with the Atropa ecosystem, the liquidity web. All the things are starting to connect in my mind. I'm seeing the totality of this picture, and it is astounding. It is stunning. So what I want to do is I want to do a very quick video on the PRC20 Gold Rush and how you can position yourself and the things that you should be looking at to position yourself to capitalize on this gold rush. So, first of all, the YouTube algorithm delivered. This one popped up on my feed today, baby. I'm a POST millionaire, baby. POSDT millionaire. I'll take care of you. Oh, you can come to Australia. We can buy a house anywhere you like, baby doll. Anywhere. I'll take care of you. You don't need to work this job no more. I'll get your mama a house in the hood. I'll get her out the hood. Oh, goodness me. What a delivery. And the bangers in this. Far out. Okay. So also, baby girl, my LAU token, coexistent Stephen, bringing world peace one at a time, one meditation center at a time, 1111 at the time of this recording. I just had to show that for the culture. Again, I'm not a numbers guy. I mean, I am a numbers guy. I'm not a numerology guy necessarily. It's not saying that I don't believe in it. It's just that it's something that I've not necessarily followed. I'm not the typical kind of spiritual guy that most people would consider me to be, perhaps. So, okay, I want to set the scene for this. So, okay, obviously the scene is set with Richard and the fact that he's an absolute fucking goat. I mean, that's setting the scene, step one. Step two, I mean, people want evidence. People want evidence. They want hard facts. I cannot give you hard facts. I'm not that guy. I'm not the math guy that's going to show you, hey, if this happens here, then it's going to, if 20% comes here, then 50% goes there and multiply this by that number. I'm not that guy. I'm not interested in those things. Yes, they are important. Yes, this is blockchain. Yes, this is hard numbers, but I'm not that guy. I can just see the totality of things and get a feel for it, and that's me. That's what I do. So that's my jam. But for the people who want the hard evidence, for people who want the belief, the social atom, why the rich get richer, cheaters get caught, and your neighbors usually look like you. The idiosyncrasies of human decision-making have confounded economists and social theorists for years. If each person makes choices for personal and often irrational reasons, how can people's choices be predicted by a single theory? How can any economic, social, or political theory be valid? The truth is, none of them really are. Mark Buchanan makes a fascinating argument that the science of physics is beginning to provide a new picture of the human or social atom and helps us understand the surprising and often predictable patterns that emerge when they get together. Look at patterns, not people, Buchanan argues, and rules emerge that can explain how movements form, how interest groups operate, and even why ethnic hatred persists. Using similar observations, social physicists can predict whether neighborhoods will integrate, whether stock markets will crash, and whether crime rates will continue or abate. Brimming with mind games and provocative experiments, the social atom is an incisive, accessible, and comprehensive argument for a whole new way to look at human social behavior. This book blew my mind. You know, when you read a book and you can't put it down, this was one of those books. Totally, absolutely blew my mind. I was reading that. I was reading also, A Brave New Earth, an Eckhart Tolle book, and I was also reading it was an architecture book, which is just called The Nature of Order, and basically showed the correlation between everything in physics and energy and everything in nature and everything in architecture and how there's a relationship between all of them. And after reading these books and really just my whole life just changing while I was going through architecture school, I had some massive realizations where I became what I can only describe as enlightened. This concept of the false self disappeared, and I became one with the universe. I could see God in everything. I could see mother and father in everything, and I could see the relationship of everything. I knew everything. Everything that I thought came into my world. The synchronicities were every single moment of every single day, and it lasted for a period of 2 to 3 weeks. It was the most blissful, heavenly experience of my entire life. Now, why am I saying this? Is because that's what enlightenment is. It's just realization. So I became enlightened, all these pieces connected in my picture world, and I became enlightened. My consciousness broke through and became one with the consciousness of God. So why am I saying that? That's what realization is. That's what enlightenment is. So that's the way that I operate. When I see these things, it's all coming from something outside of myself. You can believe that if you want. You cannot believe it if you're strictly rational. If you're strictly scientific and logic based, you're not going to believe it. You're going to think I'm full of shit. That's totally fine. I'm just setting the scene for how I get these revelations, how I get these things, and why I follow the synchronicities, and why the synchronicities to me hold more weight and more evidence than 1 + 1 = 2. That's just me. If you believe it or not, that's completely up to you. But I just want to tell you my perspective and share the perspective that I come from. And if you need to gain that perspective or gain some kind of rational understanding of the kind of perspective that I have, this is an absolutely phenomenal book. So the Gold Rush, PRC20 Gold Rush. Let's have a look at what a gold rush is. The California Gold Rush led to a massive population growth in California, making it one of the largest population migrations in United States history. So the news of the gold brought approximately 300,000 people to California from the rest of the United States. The sudden influx of gold into the money supply reinvigorated the American market. And let's just have a look at the population increases. So before the gold rush, 160,000 people, mostly Native Americans. 1848, about 157,000 people. 1855, more than 300,000 people. 1860, 308,000 residents, almost tripled the population of 1847. So what happened? People rushed to the gold. What happened? Social atoms. People want money. People need to survive. This is not something that is totally like out of the realms of possibility. People are degenerates at the core. They want money. They want to survive. They will go where the money is. The gold rushes prove this fact. Australia, the greatest country in the world. Hashtag, I don't really care. I think it's one of the greatest countries in the world. The Australian gold rush significantly increased the country's population, with the population nearly quadrupling from 430,000 people in 1851 to 1.7 million by 1871 due to a massive influx of migrants from around the world seeking gold. What were they? What were they? They were degenerates. They were degenerates just like us, trying to get ahead in life. They thought, where can I go to get some money so I can feed my family and support the future that I'm trying to create? What do you think cryptocurrency is? Oh, I'm in it for the tech. Yes, I'm also in it for the tech as well, but people are here so that they can change their future. The majority of you that are watching this want to retire, want to take care of your families. I'm in this because I want to change the world. I'm in this because this money is going to propel the dreams that I can see manifesting before my very eyes. This whole channel is dedicated towards the fact that this is actually 100% possible, and I'll reshape all of Australia and help reshape all of the world through things like Pulsechain. So I'm really excited about this opportunity of the gold rush that's happening here. So why am I pitching this as a gold rush? Because the PRC20s is the great gold rush of cryptocurrency, this cryptocurrency period. The Atropa ecosystem, man, that has blown my fucking mind, and it keeps blowing my mind. I'm going to have to do another video on that. I can't stop. My mind is just absolutely exploding with realizations and revelations. But now the PRC20s, I could see in an instant, holy shit, this is going to bring everybody here. Why? Because of the way that it's making me excited. Little charts just popping off is like, wow, where's the opportunity? I'm not the only one like this. The thing is, I can objectively observe my feelings and go, right, I understand that this feeling is something that every single human across the planet is going to feel who carries these coins without exception. So they also are going to want to take advantage of this. So I'm going to help you how you can actually take advantage of this, but not only take advantage of this, how you could switch your mindset to the long-term mindset, the delayed gratification, become a liquidity provider. That is the GOAT move, in my opinion, not financial advice. The GOAT move is liquidity providing. So now, this is all the Ethereum tokens that have been bridged over onto. I'll provide this link in the in the description below. So basically, there's been $129 million of Ethereum coins been bridged over from DAI stablecoin, wrapped Ethereum, obviously Hex, Hedron, Pepe, Maximus, Wrap Solana, 238,000, Shiba Inu, Titan X, Floki, 26,000, Helios. Oh, shout out to my boy, not Helios. Alluvium, 16,000, Apu, Pulse Bitcoin, Wrapped XRP, 6,654. I mean, these, okay, 6,654, Wrapped XRP. Who's an XRP fanboy? ISO 2020, whatever it is popping off. If you have any wrapped XRP, or if you don't have any wrapped XRP, how could you play this? You could go and look at the coin market cap for wrapped XRP, see what it's doing, see the token supply compared to XRP itself. As a matter of fact, let's just that's not the intention of this particular. And because my computer is also being a degenerate, it's going extremely slow. I mean, bro, I mean, like, I don't care who, like, even people that are in Bitcoin and they talk like we're in it for the tech, we're here to save the planet. No, you're a degenerate like the rest of us. You're rushing to the gold rush, and the Bitcoin is the 21st century gold rush, and our Pulsechain is the newest gold rush. Do you want to rush to the gold rush? Do you want to get there? Do you want to take advantage of it? Or are you going to wait till it's all over? I'm seeing the signs. I'm not waiting. So XRP, what's the market cap? 24-hour volume of XRP, 10 billion, sorry, 24-hour, 78 market cap is wrapped XRP up here. Let's have a look. WXRP. Sorry, it'll be WXRP. So now if we compare that, so what is that? 25 million market cap, and I think it was 25 million market cap, 47,000 trading volume. So it's a lot less. Okay, no problem. But I'm just saying, now you can look at the comparison between XRP and wrapped XRP. Are people using the wrapped XRP protocol? And if they are, and if it's increasing over time, then you might say, well, hang on a minute, people are using wrapped XRP, but why would they want to use these disgustingly expensive gas fees when they can just, with a click of a button, go over to Pulsechain and it's a lot cheaper and it's the same? So you might look at an opportunity like wrapped XRP and say, right, that's a potential opportunity. Now, so I'm going to leave the link in the description here. So this is just the assets that have been bridged over. Then, old mate here, Egypt John, Pulsechain Jono's got some contract addresses for the fork coins are the same as they are for the ERC20 counterparts. So he said to me that these were all coins with above a 4,000 liquidity. So these are the biggest ones. So we've just seen Render had an absolute, I'm going to show you guys that one just went through the roof. How much? Let's have a look here. Where's Render? Where did Render? Chili's. Interesting. Render, only 2,439. So, I mean, I'm kicking myself that I'm not kicking myself. I only had a certain amount of liquidity that I could play with. If I had more liquidity, these are the things that I would have been doing. If I had infinite money, these are the things that I would have been doing. I'm big in this channel on the artificial intelligence and metaverse narrative for the long-term play as well. So I would have been taking advantage of this, and Render is one of those artificial intelligence plays. I could have bridged over some assets. I could have created some liquidity pools. Now let's go over that process. I'm not going to go over the process of how to actually create a liquidity pool. I have made videos for that. So I will be uploading them as well. So just keep an eye on the channel. There's old ones. So here, the Reddit, I'll also leave this in here. So he's keeping up to date with all of this on Reddit. So now let's go here. Wrapped Bitcoin. I think this is just my speculation. This is my speculation. The Wizard of Oz that is shifting around all the liquidity and making things pump from here to there by moving liquidity. It's all just smoke and mirrors. Yes, the liquidity is 1.3 million in a market cap of 261 million. So everyone keeps saying, oh, how are people going to cash out of pDAI? How are people going to cash out of anything, man? By the time everything reaches parity here, we're going to have a coin, we're going to have a blockchain with like hundreds of billions of market cap, which, by the way, is going to make us the #1 blockchain on the planet. And we're only going to have like total liquidity of like, I don't know, let's say 10 to 20 billion. Haven't done the maths, but all I'm saying is it's going to be a fraction. The total liquidity is going to be a fraction of the market cap liquidity. And do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? That's called a derivatives market. This is also another revelation that I had yesterday. Have a look at this, man. Have a look at this. I mean, all that we're doing here is we're creating a truly decentralized financial system. We're creating, I mean, the financial system is just a derivatives market. It's largely a derivatives market. So, oh, you dog, you dog. I had it up here. Why is it gone now? You dog. Where's my bloody, I had the conversation there yesterday. All right. Thank you message. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't know why it gave me a thank you message. The derivatives market is vast and with an estimated notional value ranging between 600 trillion and $1 quadrillion, depending on the source and how you measure it. However, the real liquidity or the actual market value is much smaller. So as of mid 2023, this figure stood at about 18 trillion global liquidity. 18 trillion global liquidity. So what's that? Let's be conservative here. So let's be conservative. So 600 trillion divided by 18 trillion. Get the yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, we're onto it here. We're onto it here. This is how I know I'm onto it. This is how I know I'm onto it. Whenever, like, yeah. Anyway, anyone who's watching this channel knows, and it's sending shivers down my spine. Even though I'm not a numbers guy, I just know, man. I just know I'm onto it. So here we go. 260. You're kidding me, man. You're absolutely kidding me. Ah, gosh. All right. So what was it? 260 divided by. So at the minute, it's just a derivatives market. So still the ratio is a lot better in the actual derivatives market. But more and more real liquidity is going to flow into Pulsechain. Oh, you're not actually seeing this. So yeah, you weren't actually seeing this. So screen 2, you weren't actually seeing because you're just seeing my face. So the derivatives market, 600 divided by 600 trillion divided by 18 trillion was 33.3. And then 260 divided by 1.3. So it's just a derivatives market. The whole of Pulsechain is just smoke and mirrors, just like every other cryptocurrency, just like Solana. It's all just smoke and mirrors. It's all just fake volume. By the way, I mean, do you know how much volume is being generated on PulseX? Do you know how much buy and burn is being generated on PulseX by the Atropa ecosystem? People FUD these things and don't even understand what it is. I don't even understand what it is. I don't even understand what it is, and I'm trying desperately to understand. I'm not sitting here saying, I'm right, I got all the answers, buy this, follow what I'm doing, pump my bags. I'm telling you, don't buy the things that I buy. Learn for yourself. I'm just sharing with you this stuff that's like blowing my mind, man. It's so exciting. So, okay, Wrapped Bitcoin. This is the way that I see the story unfold. The Wizard of Oz is going to manipulate everything. Wrapped Bitcoin is going to be the thing that pegs first, or probably along the same lines as pDAI, DAI stablecoin. Now, DAI stablecoin, again, breaking all-time highs. We've broken all-time highs with Wrapped Bitcoin. We're breaking all-time highs with DAI. Now, how can we actually take advantage of this as a liquidity provider? This is where impermanent loss comes into it. Now is a perfect time to take advantage of this, because whoever's doing this, if you believe that Wrapped Bitcoin is going to parity and pDAI is going to parity, now it's essentially at parity. Let me close down some of these charts. Oh boy, the memory. My computer's just, it's really upset. Okay, so what was this? Bitcoin, I think it was 92,800. Okay, 92,800. So basically the ratio between our Wrapped Bitcoin, which is better than their Bitcoin, and our DAI stablecoin, which is better than their DAI stablecoin, is currently 94,589. So what does that mean? That means if DAI goes to $1, if Bitcoin stays in parity, this is an absolute top G moment to put some liquidity between this pair and not incur impermanent losses. And also, people need to understand, people don't need to understand. I'm so full of energy. I really apologize. I'm trying to maintain some calmness here. I mean, I just meditated and I'm trying to stay centered, man. But the revelations, the realizations, and I'm anyone who watches this channel knows that I just absolutely love sharing this stuff. I love sharing it because I want as many people as possible to win. And I think that's why I'm very attracted to Richard Hart, because he also has the same nature. He just wants to make the world a better place. He just wants to maximize the amount of people that wins. He's a man of my heart. So now let's think about this. Let's think about what impermanent loss is. So now, wrapped Bitcoin to DAI stablecoin, pDAI, if it goes up. So if you create a liquidity pool here, so let's just, I'm going to very quickly just, boy. All right. So if you create a liquidity pool here with one wrapped Bitcoin, one wrapped Bitcoin, one pWBTC equals 94,589 pDAI. Okay, so you create a liquidity pool here. The volume is 1.2 million between this pair, just for the record. That is absolutely insane amounts of volume, just for the record. I watch these things all the time because I'm very much into this idea of liquidity providing, and that is absolutely insane. Now, what happens? What is impermanent loss? What is impermanent loss? So now, if this continues to go up, this ratio stays locked. This ratio stays locked. So now if this continues to go up, let's just say it goes up to here. It goes up to this price. For example, you're going to have, boy, this is already turning out to be much longer than I was hoping. So 262. So now we have to get the equals to get the constant here. So you multiply one wrapped Bitcoin. So that's going to be, so the constant. So the token A multiplied by token B equals the constant. So therefore 1 times 94,589 equals, well, it's going to equal 94,589. So now if the price of Bitcoin continues to rise from here, I mean, it's no, this is actually, this might not necessarily be such a good example to explain it through, but let's just do it. Let's just do it for argument's sake. So you're going to have basically the price of Bitcoin is going up. So as the price of Bitcoin goes up, the value of the pDAI goes down. The value of the pDAI goes down, which means you would have, so then you would have to do the math, would be 94,589 divided by 263,260. 269. So now we'll do that. We'll do that math, and this will tell you how much Bitcoin you now have. But there's things in this equation that I'm gonna. There's things in this equation that I'm going to try and highlight as well, which will make this also not seem as bad as what you might think. Therefore, in this particular instance, you would have 0.35 of your pWBTC. All right. So you'd have less Bitcoin, but more pDAI. And inversely, if it's going down, okay, hang on. Okay, so if it's going up, you're going to have, if the price goes up, which means the value of pWBTC goes up in the pool, pWBTC up equals less pWBTC. All right, man. Yeah, this is all. I mean, I'm not an alpha guy, man. I'm just doing my best here, but this is all just this is all just free, and I feel like this is some solid gold information, but I cannot take credit for any of this. I learn all of this from people that are much smarter than me. So how can I charge for this information? And especially because I literally just want everybody to win. Now, if it goes down, If it goes down, okay, it goes down. So what does that mean? In this instance, we have we would have 31. So pWBTC down equals, so the price is going down. So we'd have more pWBTC because here, 35,151. Bugger. So we'd have 94,000, sorry. So we take the constant, 94,589 divided by the new price, which is token A, token B, which is now going to give us the value of token A. So what do we got? 94,859 divided by 35151 equals 2.69. 2.69. 69. So you would have 2.69 wrapped Bitcoin. Now, this is where people get caught on the idea of impermanent loss. This is where it's a bit tricky to try. This is where it's a bit tricky to explain, but I'm going to continue to try and explain this because as I continue to explain it more, it's going to get more and more clear in the way that I explain it. So let's just say it's this scenario. It comes down and, oh no, I've got way less. My pDAI is way less, but I've got more wrapped Bitcoin. But then as the price comes back up and it comes back to your entry point, you might find, well, actually, no, with volume like this. So that 1.3 million volume now, just for the record. So another $100,000 worth of volume has come into it. So you might find here, this is so now it's come back up. It's come back up to your entry point. So it's come back to this point. But here you've been earning from the $1.3 million of, this is 24-hour volume, through PulseX or any of the liquidity providing protocols, you're earning plus percent yield, plus percent in yield. So therefore, you might end up having 1.1 Bitcoin and 99,000 pWBTC, pDAI rather. So in actuality, there was no impermanent loss. That's called impermanent gains, baby. That's gains. When it comes back to that price, you will see what your true yield is. So even here, you're going to think, oh no, I've lost all this value. But if you end up selling your excess wrapped Bitcoin, you will probably find when the volume is this much that you'll be able to regain the original amount of pDAI plus still maintain some pWBTC just because of all the volume when the price is down here. But when it comes back up here, you'll see it as clear as day. That's why I encourage people to just dip your toes, try it with a little bit. And then as you get comfortable doing it and you understand what's actually happening, then start to go balls deep. Don't go balls deep first. Really, this channel is about mindset. So really do it carefully. Manage your mind, manage your emotions. The way to manage your emotions is not to go all in. If you go and be greedy and say, I'm going to put all my pDAI in here and all my wrapped Bitcoin in here, and you've delicately saved all this up and you've got 20,000 on each side, you're going to be shitting your bricks when it gets down here and you're going to think you've lost all this value. You're not going to understand what's actually happening. So just dip your toes in. Take a small percentage, dip your toes in. Now, the reason why now is really an ideal situation is as both of those charts continue to go up and to the right. Wrapped Bitcoin's going up and to the right. pDAI is going up and to the right. If the Wizard of Oz maintains this equilibrium in the same way that pDAI and PUSDC has been maintained a peg now for the last few months, this is just going to fluctuate around here, and it's probably going to continue moving with the price of Bitcoin, which is going to be like even better. So the value of your pDAI is going up, the value of your wrapped Bitcoin is going up, and you're generating yield. I really hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. That wasn't the objective of this particular episode. I wanted to go more into these are the PRC20s. This is the Gold Rush. So what does this mean? Everybody still, I believe, is thinking about this from the perspective of, I own this much Bitcoin and I'm just going to sell and just exit. Oh, big mistake, man. big mistake. I think this is only the beginning. This is the first cycle. I mean, if Hex breaks its all-time high, which I believe it will, I believe with the Death Star liquidity that's going to happen through the liquidity web, Hex is going to absolutely just destroy, just absolutely melt. The inverse relationship between Atropa and Pulsechain, the inverse relationship is not as clear anymore, but let's just see how this actually happens over this next phase of the market. And I will analyze those things as well. So let me just see if I can, let's get rid of this so I can see the other two things. Okay, so now how can I play this? So AI Metaverse, what did I do? My process that I did, very simply, I don't have a link for the PRC20s. There's ways that you can do it. This is the way that I do it. I like AI and I like Metaverse. So shout out to my boy Vibra Finance, because he has been positioning himself for this, and he's killing it. And I love to hear it, because Vibra is one of those dudes where it's like he doesn't get the credit that he deserves on this chain, probably because he's not a maxi. If you're not a maxi, you don't really get the credit that you deserve on this chain. You have to really be a maxi. But from my perspective, I'm maxi acceptance. That's my maxi acceptance. I love everything and I want everyone to win. That's the ultimate meta, because if everybody's winning on this blockchain, everybody's going to want to come to this blockchain. Why? Because of the phenomena of the social atom. It's the same principle, man. People want to go. Flyers go to shit. Humans move to money. It's the same thing. There's not an instance anywhere across the entire planet where humans don't flock towards money. Pulsechain is going to be the #1 blockchain. I believe that's going to be the Moon King's most goated call. His most goated call. When he said, so he was the first to say it, that it's going to flip Solana. And I'm just like, oh boy, that's really optimistic. Now I'm seeing it, man. Now I'm seeing it, because it's all just smoke and mirror numbers. Look at Gecko Terminal. It's showing us as like in the top 5. We're going to be the #1, man. We're going to be the #1. We don't have to be the #1 in like the total amount of liquidity, even though it probably is going to be the #1 in total amount of liquidity anyway. Boy, okay, there's too many concepts that are being squeezed into this video. It was supposed to be super short. So what did I do? So basically all I did is I got my multi-charts. What are the things that I like? I like Metaverse. Sandbox. You know what? Sandbox is shit. Doesn't really matter. It's got the narrative. It's a crap game. Snoop Dogg bought some house on there. It might get better. Who knows? Meta. What's the other one? Not Metaverse. Decentraland. As soon as I saw Decentraland, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's a winning idea. That was one of my best calls from the last bull run. I just knew straight away. My heart was just like, yep, that's going to kill it. And lo and behold, it absolutely killed it. So Sand, what did I do? If I want to find if it is on here, so Sand, WPLS. Bang, it's on here. What does it have? Wow, 14K liquidity. It's doing not too bad. I can have a look here on this Ethereum token holdings. Where's Sand sitting in here? So Sand, oh, that's, wow, only 895. So this must be old then. Only 895 value, because the liquidity there was much more than that. So this is Sand, 895. So this could also be old. And I mean, yeah. Anyway, so liquidity, 14,000. Sand. So what's actually happened with Sand? It's had a pump, 2x. Mana, it's had a pump, 3x. I mean, this is against, is this just in US dollar, or have I got these against Pulsechain values? This is just US dollar. Okay, it doesn't matter. It should be compared to Pulsechain as well. But have a look at some of these that are they're just popping off. They're popping off. One, they're liquidity bonded. People have started bonding them to tokens. The tokens that they're bonded to are moving up. So these assets are also moving up, but there's no real liquidity in there. That's the problem. We still want people to bridge over their assets and provide liquidity. And that's where the meta comes in for you guys as well. This is where it's like, well, for me, I'm going to start doing this with small bits of liquidity. I'm going to bridge over some of my assets and just create liquidity pools. And you are going to suffer the impermanent losses. You will, because the ratio between the tokens is so stretched out between, say, let's say like the real Floki and the ERC20 Floki and PRC20 Floki. But as people come in and sell out and bridge out, see you later. No worries. You're filling up your token into my liquidity pool. You're filling up that value into my liquidity pool. Then One more person like me says, holy crap, look at this opportunity over here. They have the mindset of long-term delayed gratification. They go, you know what? I was providing liquidity on ERC20. Listen to Hexologist. Hexologist has all this pDAI because he was being a liquidity provider. He might just go, you know what? I'm just going to keep being a liquidity provider. pDAI has actually hit $1. This is absolutely insane. All these guys are going, you know what? Wow, pDAI's hit $1. Wrap Bitcoin has hit parity. I've got Floki that I totally forgot about. I'm going to go bridge over my Floki assets over there, be a liquidity provider, capture that next 10x. I'm going to just stay there for that easy 2x. Once one thing pegs, the whole world opens up. The whole world, the gold rush just opens up. It's not just a gold rush. It becomes like a gold rush, a silver rush, a copper rush, a diamond rush, like an everything rush. It's like, it's fucking amazing, man. Look at render. Look at this candle. Look at this candle. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I mean, let's look at this candle. So basically all I've done is I've set up a multi-chart with all my AI Metaverse plays. I do an AI Metaverse channel. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create a LAU token called AI Verse. I'm going to start bridging over assets. I'm going to start bonding to these PRC20s and bonding to other tokens like Atropa, pDAI, Pulsechain, and just letting the arbitrage fill those pools up. Then I'm going to bring some of my own assets across. And through just these little efforts like this little pop here is like, what? Just this little pop here. That is an absolutely insane candle. That's like, what? That's a 24x. That's a 24x. Now, there's 3K liquidity in here, 18K volume that just happened in the space of a week with this particular thing. Now, anyone who's got render is going to open their eyes up to this. You'll have people like KDP who are trying to FUD it, and the word will go out. Oh, look at this person came in and bridged out PUSDC. Well, hey, let the word go out. Thank you, KDP, for that free marketing. Let the other people come in and fill up our liquidity pools. So how do you position yourself for the gold rush? Pick your tokens, start bridging in some assets, create liquidity pools, but be aware that by creating the liquidity pools, you will suffer impermanent loss. But think about it in the long-term perspective. You're trading fake value tokens, the PRC20 copies, for real value tokens, the ERC20 copies. You're bridging in that liquidity, and then you're creating a liquidity pool. You're going to have this impermanent loss. But as people come in and swap in and out, 18K volume in this pool, this tiny pool, whoever's got this pool is probably just cleaned up. They've cleaned up all those tokens. So this is the kind of alpha that I'm seeing. And I'm seeing this in a long-term perspective. Richard spoke about this as being like, this could be like one of the most greatest speculative things that ever happens. People love to speculate. We're all degenerate gamblers. I don't care. We're all the same, man. Everybody wants to make money. We all want that money for different purposes, but everybody wants to make that money to fulfill their future. That's the world that we live in now. Now, do you want to have a lacking mindset and just hold on to what you have? And I have to hold on to it for dear life, and I've got to sell it all at the top, and I've got to get out and buy a Lamborghini? Or do you want to have an abundance mindset and go, you know what? This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This chain is going to be absolutely goated. It's going to be the #1 blockchain in all of cryptocurrency. PulseX is going to go absolutely through the roof. Hex is going to obliterate. It's going to break its all-time highs. I think it's probably going to double its all-time highs again. I'm not going to sit here working out all the maths. I'm only just seeing it from the perspective of the totality. I'm only seeing it from how this liquidity can easily flow. This minimum liquidity. It's like, let's just set that huge market cap of billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars, and then there's this real liquidity, this of like tens of billions, and it just goes into this thing which has fake liquidity, and it just balloons it up, gets sucked back down, goes into something else, balloons it up. As it balloons it up, look what happened to render. Now, I've noticed render from that. Hey, who else has noticed render? Who else has noticed PUSDC? Hey, all of a sudden, boom, 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 more people come in. Then you're getting the real liquidity. Keep doing this process again and again. Boom, 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 boom. Ivan on Tech's talking about it. The Moon Kings are talking about it. They are absolutely world class. They're the best meme coin people on the planet. They are absolutely world class. They're extremely entertaining. I absolutely love them to bits. They gave away $150 million of Pulsechain. Do you know how much Pulsechain they must have if they just gave away 150 million Pulsechain? Like, okay, people say, oh, they're extracting liquidity and all this and whatever, man. Like, not whatever, but everybody's doing it. But you're just dressing it up in something different. Everybody just dresses it up in some way. Everybody wants, no, that you can't follow him and his coins. You got to instead just put it all into my hex or my pulse chain. Are you holding that hex and pulse chain so everybody else can come in and take that liquidity out and you're just going to sit there on your hands? No, you want that liquidity in your asset so you can take it out for yourself. So let's stop pretending and telling people what to do with their money, and let's just accept everything. I should also be the same. I should be more accepting. Holy crap, this was way too long. Energy's way too high. I've already meditated so much today. I'm going to have to meditate more, but mark my words. Well, don't mark my words, actually, not financial advice, but I do think this is going to make Pulsechain the #1 blockchain on the planet by the end of this bull market. Take care, everybody.